Colebello here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you 10 build hacks that you can use to make your kitchens more realistic. For all of these you are going to need the advanced placing and transform plus game passes, so if you don't have those then this may not be the video for you, but if you do then keep watching because I have a lot to share with you guys today. As always, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy and let's get right into it. We're going to start off with this custom vent hood. Now I've actually made a lot of these, but this one's my favorite and it's pretty simple to make. You're going to start off by placing this cabinet hood from the appliance section, and then you're going to take this convex straight basic shape and resize it to get the slope that you want. And then obviously as you're doing this, you're going to want to make sure that it's the same width as the cabinet hood and that it goes all the way to the ceiling. It should look something like this. And then you can just fill in this gap in the back with a cube. And then after recoloring it, it should look pretty seamless. And then for those vertical lines, you're going to copy this convex basic shape and make it thinner. And then just make 4 across and transform them right into place. And then finally for the horizontal line at the bottom, you can just use a cube. And this is the finished product. Next, we're going to make this stovetop pot filler. You're going to start by resizing a beveled horizontal cylinder to the smallest possible dimensions. And then you're going to center this on the wall on top of your stove as the starting point for the pipes. And then to make the pipes, you're just going to use 3 different sizes of rods from the structural section, which I have laid out here. These 2 are standard round rods and this one is a small round rod. So you just want to start using these to copy the shape in the photo, and of course use Transform Plus to move everything in place. And here's the finished product. Not functional, but still very cute. For number 3, we're going to make this stovetop pot. This one is really simple. All you have to do is take a transparent cube and size it down to the small size. Then you can place a large pot on top of the cube and use Transform Plus to move it on top of the stove. Once it's in place, you can take a beveled vertical cylinder and size it down. And then this is going to be the lid for the pot, so you can just use Transform Plus to move it right to the top. And then you can just keep resizing and transforming this until it looks about right. And finally, you can just copy one of these rods to make a little handle on the top. And there you have it. I think this combo with the pot filler is so cute and just looks so realistic. I've added some counters so that we can make a few decorations. And for the 4th build hack, we're going to make some simple cutting boards. This is probably the simplest build hack in this video. All you have to do is start with a horizontal cylinder and size it down to your preferred size, and then size down a cube to make the handle. Now you can transform this to the side of the cylinder like this, and then rotate it so that it stands up like so. And there you have it. Like I said, very easy to make. For the next one, which is a little more complicated, we're going to be making this mock KitchenAid stand mixer. Here I have a resized beveled cube and beveled vertical cylinder, and you're just going to combine them to make this semicircle shape at the end. After that, you're going to size down a transparent cube so that you can put a tall decorative vase on top of it. And then you're going to transform it down to imitate the back part of the mixer. Next, you're going to use a beveled horizontal cylinder to make the top part. And then right at the front here, you're just going to place a vertical cylinder to kind of stick down a little bit. And then you can place an empty bowl. Next, place a small round rod and transform it to act as the mixer. And then finally another small round rod to add these decorative metal stripes on the side. And if you placed everything on your initial cube, you should be able to copy it and move it as you wish. And now you have your very own KitchenAid stand mixer. Look at how good that looks. For number 6, we're going to make this custom farmhouse sink. You're going to start off by placing a basic counter and then place a dual kitchen sink inside of it. Next, resize a beveled cube to make the front lip of the sink. Once it's about this size, you can resize it down and then transform it just barely across the edge of the sink. And then do the same on all sides. Next, to make the custom faucet, just size down some beveled cubes, and you can transform 3 to go up, across, and down. It should look something like that. And for the handle on the side, just use a small round rod. And for the last part of it, we just have to create the cabinets underneath. So since we used a blank counter to allow this to go over the edge, we now have to fill in this empty space with some structurals to kind of mimic the other cabinets. So since I'm using Craftsman cabinets, I'm going to try to create this shape. But if you have different cabinets, just try to mimic them with whatever method you want to use. This might seem complicated at first, but it's actually pretty simple to do with some structurals. I'm going to speed this up, but if you want to follow along, then go ahead. And that is the sink with the cabinets underneath all complete. It's definitely not perfect, but from afar, nobody's gonna know the difference. For number 7, we have these custom counters. Now we all know that the Bloxburg marble texture is fugly, okay? And it's 2024, we don't settle for this anymore. Making custom counters is so simple. All you have to do is size down a transparent cube, place your decal onto it. I'm using this painting just for reference. And then with Transform Plus, you can rotate it and move it down until it's just above the counter. And once it's in place, you can resize it if necessary. And there you go. Look at how much better that looks. Just note that you can't place anything on top of the counter after doing this, so just make sure this is the last step. For number 8, we are going to make a hidden pantry. I think this one is so cool because it looks like a normal pantry cabinet at first, but then it opens up to reveal an entire new room. To make this, you're going to start by placing a flush secret door, and then before you start building, just make sure that this opens the way that you want it to. And this did not, so I'm just going to go back into build mode and rotate it so that it swings outwards like this. And now you can get to building. Start by placing a fridge cabinet right in that space. And now you're basically going to build a fake cabinet in this space with structurals. Now, like the cabinets I made with this sink build hack, it's going to be dependent on which cabinet you're trying to copy, but you just want to use the normal version of your pantry cabinet as a reference to get the right style. However, the most important thing is that you're placing everything on this door before transforming it. Because if you place something on the floor and then transform it up, then it's not going to swing out with the door and it's not going to be functional. So for instance, you're going to use a vertical plank to cover the front, and you have to make sure that you're placing it on this before transforming it. It's always a good idea to just leave build mode and make sure that everything is functioning as intended before you continue building, because the last thing you want is to build the entire thing and then realize that it doesn't work. And while I'm here, don't forget to cover up this space so it doesn't look separated when you open it. Cue the time lapse. Here is the finished product, and as you can see, it works as intended. So now you can walk through and decorate your little pantry inside. For number 9, we have this bar stool, which is perfect for a kitchen island. You're going to start with a transparent cube just so you can place everything on one object and copy it later on. Next, we're going to put together a few beveled cubes, which I already have resized. Then you can raise this off of the ground and use cubes as the legs for the chair. And lastly, use some small square beams to connect the legs together. If you did this right, you should be able to copy this and move it. And once you have it in the right position, you can just use Transform Plus to move it down. And that is it for this bar stool. For our 10th and final build hack, we have this light fixture that is perfect for a modern island. Like a lot of these, you're going to start off with a transparent cube, but you want to keep this one pretty tall so you can add structurals to it. Then you're going to put a small cube on top and then resize a light box on top of that. Then just transform this up a little bit. Now you're going to use small square beams to create the pattern that you see. And finally, you can take a thin chain and transform it up all the way to the ceiling. And that is it for our final build hack. Alright guys, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope these tips helped you out. If you want to see the rest of this house, then the full speed build will be posted next week, so stay tuned for that. And as always, make sure to follow my socials. I'm on TikTok and Instagram. A lot of these build hacks were already posted on there, so if you want to be the first person to see my content, then that's definitely the place to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!